Hello, good morning, good afternoon if you're watching this online on YouTube, maybe good evening. And so my name's Wilson-Felis. This is a beginner yoga class. We are here at Yoga Studio Satya. And so this is the beginning of a elemental series. Last week we talked about all the elements, the 5 elements, the Ayurvedic elements, which is air and space and water and fire and earth. So today I'm going to be talking about the earth element. So we're going to start from the ground up. So we'll work our way up through the body, up through the elements, working our way up to space. So for the Earth Mudra, it's called the Bhu. It's spelled B-H-U. Bhu Mudra, and it's for activating the earth element inside of us. So what you do is you just take your peace fingers and you bring them together, and then you bring those fingers down to the floor on either side of your body. So those peace fingers just come down on either side of the body and ground into the floor, ground into the earth. And so as we do this Bhu Mudra, it's the gesture of grounding, earthing. And so with that being said, I'll talk a little bit about the Ayurveda terms of earth, so known as Pradipi, earth. And it helps us to stay stable, helps us to be supported. The earth really kind of has to do with being grounded, being supported, being supported in the way that we can start to grow bigger than we are now. The earth supports in that it carries all of the elements that we need to grow. So as we attune to the earth's stability, we'll start to become a bit more confident as we pull that earth energy, that grounded energy up into the body. Imagine that your sits bones are rooted into the earth, and you can almost imagine roots growing down out of those sits bones, out of the tailbone, rooting down into the floor, perhaps going down through the building, the foundation, and into the soil, into and around stone, and all the layers of earth beneath, anchoring us. Roots are what carry all the nutrients up into the being, the plant. And so, in this case, we'll imagine all those nutrients being pulled up through the fingertips, these 2 fingertips, through the tailbone, through the roots, anchoring us into the earth, so that we can grow taller into the sky above. There's this beautiful, just like kind of like a balanced opposition that happens in yoga, and so we feel this rootedness as well as this lifted. Let's focus on that today. Staying anchored, rooted, grounded, but from that space becoming almost a tessellation of the earth and lifting away. So with that being said, let's start to breathe. Just breathe a little deeper. With every exhale, feel your body soften and ground. And with every inhale, feel your body lift, rise into the sky above. In yoga, there are these terms known as prana and apana. Prana means energy. So as you breathe in, you feel this energy lift you up. And as you exhale, you feel this aponic grounding sensation. So let's get our arms involved here. With an inhale, open your fingers, reach your arms out to either side and up towards the sky. And as you exhale, float your hands back down, perhaps back into the Bhu Mudra. Peace fingers come back down to the earth. So let's try that a couple times. Breathing in, opening those fingers up, lifting up towards the sky, staying grounded. Exhale and rooting back down through those fingertips. Nice. We'll do that a couple more times. Just move at your own pace with your own breath. Don't worry about matching me, matching the group. And so we're going to balance and enhance our sense of support and stability as we work with the earth today. Last time here, doesn't matter how many rounds you've done, maybe 4, maybe 5, depending on how quickly you're going. Now let's stay rooted, maybe all 10 fingertips this time. And we'll start to go from side to side. So remember, just keep those sits bones grounded. We'll drop our right hand into the floor. Reach the left hand out and away. And start to reach up and over as we stretch away from our left sit bone, which is rooted into the floor. Take one more breath. And with an inhale, we'll bring it all back up to center. Looks really good, everyone. Let's slide that left hand out, ground through the palm, reach the right hand up and over. Start to soften or slide that left hand out, but keep your right sit bone rooted. And let's breathe, reaching away slightly as you breathe in, exhaling to soften. We'll do that one more time. It's prana as we breathe in, apana as we breathe out. Bring yourself back up to center. If you need to, if you want to, you could switch your legs if you're seated like I am. If your legs are straight out, you might keep them the same. Let's do it again to each side so that our body starts to recognize these movements as normal. Don't forget to breathe. We'll take about 3 breaths in each posture. I feel that in the target area, which is ribs, waist area on the left side. Let's try to relax that right shoulder. Inhale and bring yourself back to center. We'll meet on the other side. Making sure to stay rooted, grounded through those sits bones, but you can reach away from that anchored space. Nice job. Feel your body expand with your breath. And we'll bring ourselves back up to center when you're ready. No rush. Come up whenever you need to. Let's add a little twist through this trunk here of ours. So we're going to take our left hand to the outer right thigh. So even if your legs are stretched out like this, just outer right leg, outer right thigh. Sweep that right hand behind you. We'll inhale and sit up tall. And exhale to add a gentle twist, trying not to collapse. Again, inhaling. The branches of your tree are reaching up to the sky, staying rooted, exhaling to add a gentle twist. Nothing that hurts, my friends. One more breath. Nice job. Relax the twist, but stay in this general direction, pointed towards the right. We're going to sweep that right hand up to the sky. Start to lean over. So this is what it'll look like if your legs are crisscrossed in Sukasana. If your legs are straight out, looks similar, except your elbow might need to bend. So we want to feel that same stretch, right underarm, right ribs. Nice job. Bring yourself back up to center and cross that right arm over top your left. All right, so we're moving into Garuda arms, eagle arms. So we're going to lift the arms up and bend that left elbow. There. That's the beginner version. If you'd like to go a bit further, you can bend the right elbow. Some people won't be able to get their arms together, so we want to try to get our elbows hooked inside of each other, which can be difficult for some. Some people have a wider chest this way, then their arms are long this way. So don't worry about getting it all the way, just get it as far as you can. Some people will be able to get the backs of the hands together or even twist those hands around. I feel that pretty deeply on the top of my left shoulder. Now let's start to look up. Look down, see how that changes your stretch. Tilt your head side to side perhaps, start to get into the neck today. And we'll start to unwind those arms, swing them back behind you, support yourself and start to uncross those legs if they're not already uncrossed. Now I don't have a whole lot of weight on my hands, just a little bit, so if that's a bit too much, you can drop to elbows if need be, and we'll squeeze the shoulders back. Look up. So I can still lift off my hands even while I'm here. My core is engaged. Grounded through tailbone, grounded through the heels. With an inhale, let's sweep those hands all the way up to the sky, sitting up tall. Tadasana means staff position or pole position. And we'll start to fold the pole in half, reaching towards your toes or your ankles. Maybe you have your shins today. It doesn't really matter how far you're reaching down, just that you can feel a gentle pull in the back of your legs, low back. If I drop my chin to my chest, I can even feel that in between my shoulder blades. So let's just take a couple deep breaths, just holding the pose and finding a spot within the pose where you can find comfort within that discomfort. Grounding here. Pull that energy from the earth to get you through. Let's inhale and rise up to center. Nice job. You can reach up to the sky. Some people like to really rise up. We'll drop the hands down here. And let's go for a little bit of inner thigh, and then we'll do outer thigh. So we're going to bring feet together here. Knees apart. Sit up nice and tall. Grab onto your toes or your ankles or your shins, wherever you are today. And we're going to maybe start to pull the belly towards the feet. And as you do that, the fulcrum opens in the inner thighs, things start to stretch. Now if that is too intense, you might back up a little bit, or some people will rock from side to side here. So think of that tree. The tree stays rooted all the time, but the wind blows and the tree sways. Keep that flexibility, not only in yoga, but of course off the mat as well. Stay rooted, stay grounded, but also stay flexible. Now let's come on back up to center. Now all I'm going to ask is that you take your feet away from your body about 6 inches. Your heels stay together, but your toes might open. I try to keep my toes touching there. And then I'm going to do the same. I'm going to reach for my feet. And it's weird. I can feel it on my outer thigh, like behind my knee a little bit. On this left side, I even feel it up into my hip and low back. That's just me, you know. And again, you can add a little rocking there if you need to. So big diamond shape with those knees. Awesome work. And we'll start to rise back up. Take an inhale as you do so. Kick your right leg out and we'll pull that left knee back in. If you need, you can always use a block or use a little pillow for some lift under that knee if it's a little bit too much in that inner thigh. Otherwise, gravity is going to help pull that knee open. So if there's discomfort, we've got to support it. But if that feels all right, you're feeling the stretch, then keep that leg just supported with nothing. So let's take a big inhale up to the sky. Rotate gently to the right so that your chest is pointed straight towards your right foot. And we'll start to reach for our toes or the ankle or the shin. Just like we did when both legs were straight. We try to stay rooted through both sit bones here, not just the right one, the left one too. Bow your head down towards your leg. That's where you're really going to start to feel that stretch. One more deep breath. Pull that energy up from the earth. Inhale and rise back up. Again, some people might rise the arms back up to center. And we'll sweep them out. We're going to rotate out to the side. So just bring your right hand down your right leg. Point your chest towards your left knee. If that means you need to separate your foot a little bit to make some more space, you can do that. We'll sweep our left hand out to the side as well. So I'll turn to the side so people at home can see here. And that left hand is going to reach up to the sky As I do that, my right hand slides down the right leg. Ooh, I can start to feel my inner thigh stretching. As I reach over further, the stretch increases. So you choose how far you want to go into that stretch. Not only are we feeling right inner thigh, but also left ribs, left waist. If you can't take a deep breath, you might be too far in the pose. So you might just back up so that you can breathe big, breathe deep. Inhale, bring yourself back up to center. Nice job, everyone. Let's take the legs back to center, kick both legs out here. And we're gonna do the outer thigh of that right leg. So let's pick that foot up and pull the knee in towards the chest. So just bending it as much as you can, and we're gonna try to cross it over top the left leg. Great job. Start to pull that foot up off the ground by pulling the knee into your chest. So, recent knee injury, maybe your arm goes under your leg instead of around your whole leg. I feel less stretch that way, but a lot of people can't bend their knee that deeply, and so that under the knee might be a little bit more accessible for some. Sitting up tall, just like the tree, we're rooted but also lifted. You can feel it more when you do that. I can, at least. Start to rotate towards the right. Ooh, I feel it different now. So every time we change direction, something changes in our body. If you want to, your right hand can reach behind you to support yourself in that big twist. And if you want more, then take your left arm, swing it up to the sky, and hook it on the outside of your right leg. Some people, it's going to be your elbow. Some people, it'll be your forearm. Some people can do their elbow or even their upper arm. Nice job. Kind of elbow that thigh and bring yourself deeper into that twist. One more breath here. Nice job, everyone. Let's twist the other direction. We'll take our left hand over to the left, right hand over to the left, and we'll do a couple push-ups. Nice job. All right, come on back up to center. All we have to do is take our right foot over here, and we're ready for the other side. Did that one on purpose. All right, so we're gonna do a head to knee pose on the left side. Big inhale up to the sky. Exhale and fold over. Reaching for knee, shin, ankle, toes. Now if you start to fold over and your right knee starts to feel that sensation where it's twisting, that's where you need to support it with a block. A little block under the knee will help that knee to not twist. So the idea in these external rotation moves is that the twist or the rotation comes from the hip. We don't ever really want our knee to feel a twist. Now let's take one more breath. This might be your first big breath in this pose. I've been jabbering on here. Go ahead and take a big inhale and rise back up to center. It might just be seated. Some people will rise all the way up. We're going to rotate out to the right. I like to separate my foot a little bit there just so I can have a little extra room and I feel the inner thigh start to open as I rotate my upper body. Left hand down the left leg. Right hand sweeps out back. Stay rooted. Reach that right hand up to the sky and over your head slowly. As you reach over, the left hand reaches down the left leg. Great job. It's okay if you're doing the other side. Just make sure it's the opposite from the side that you did previously. Don't forget to breathe. One more big breath. Open the chest. Inhale, bring it back up to center. Nice work. We'll start to rotate back ahead. Kick both legs out here. I always wiggle them out a little bit. Get those knees lubricated, hips lubricated. And then all we're going to do is take this left knee, bend it, and cross it over top. So again, let's give it a hug. It's a good leg. It's done some good work for us. Nice job. Coming around full circle here. So if you've had a knee injury recently and the knee doesn't want to bend, of course, you can reach under the knee. Awesome work. Let's start to add a twist. The left hand is going to sweep back around towards the mat behind us, sitting up tall through the upper body, grounded through the lower body. Nice job. I feel that through the left hip, left thigh, low back a little bit. You can swing that right arm up and over to hook on the left leg if you'd like, elbow or forearm or wrist. Start to look over that shoulder. Nice work, everybody. Hold it as long as you'd like. You always have that permission. You always have my permission to release early too, so whenever you're ready, start to swing that right arm over to the right, left arm over to the right, and we'll give ourselves a couple push-ups. Nice job, everyone. Now we still have some upper body work to do here. So bring yourself back to center. Those legs rocked out here. You can stay like this, you can crisscross your legs. It's up to you. What do you prefer? I will always come to crisscross, which is known as Sukasana. It's known as easy pose, but it's not easy for everyone. So if legs straight is better for you, so we're going to twist the opposite direction. So we're going to take that right hand to the left outer thigh, and the left hand will sweep behind us. Stay grounded. With an inhale, lift through the top of your head, through the tree branches. Relax those shoulders. Exhale and add the twist. Let's do 2 more breaths. Remember, we don't want yoga to hurt. It can be a little uncomfortable, but nothing we can't breathe through and adjust. Great work, everybody. Come back to neutral, but still rotated towards the left slightly. Our right hand is on our left knee or thigh. Remember, if your legs are straight, same thing. We're just going to start to sweep that left hand up to the ceiling and start to lean to the right. So if your legs are straight, your right elbow needs to bend. If your legs are crisscrossed, you're just going to hang on for dear life and lean to the right. And you'll feel that in that left side body, left ribs. Inhale, bring it back to center, and cross your left arm on top of your right. Nice work. For some of us, you might be able to kind of walk those fingers over to get them crossed a bit more, and then we're going to start to lift up and keep that shape. Karate chop, the right elbow, that's going to hold that in there. For some, this is where we'll stop. Left elbow might cross on top, so you want right elbow underneath, left elbow on top. We crisscross those arms. That's a good place to stop. If you can go further, some can, some will not be able to, so don't compare yourself to anyone else. Let's start to rock those elbows up and down a little bit. Maybe start to just lean your head right to left. And whenever you need to let go, my friends, don't suffer. Just because I'm still holding the pose doesn't mean you need to. Uncross those arms when you're ready, and we'll bring them back behind us. Switch it up. We just did all this rounding, so let's open the chest, squeeze those shoulder blades back, lengthen the legs out here. Nice job. Inhale all the way up. And we're going to exhale to fold into our legs over top, reaching for knees or shins or ankles or toes, all the way into that forward fold, just as far as your body allows you to go, so that you can feel the stretch behind your legs, your knees, your low back. Chin to chest allows you to feel it even higher in the back. Big breath while you're here. Feel your belly press towards your thighs as it expands. And then we'll start to rise up. And again, some people will rise all the way. All right, let's start to move along here. So, usually we'll go to hands and knees. Today, I'm going to have you lay back here. So we're going to work our trunk a lot today because that's our core, that's our center. And that's how we stay rooted and lifted. So let's lay back, keep your knees bent. All right, so from here, you have to choose. You can keep your feet like they are, For a little extra challenge, you'll bend your knees and pick your feet up off the ground so that your legs resemble sitting in a chair. If you are an advanced yogi and you want a real challenge today, then lengthen your legs up so that they're straight up towards the sky. I'm going to demonstrate with my knees bent. So I'm going to pretend like there's a rope hanging from the sky right above my arms. And I'm going to try to reach up for it. And I'm going to stay reaching up for it. And I'm going to try to climb that rope up towards the ceiling. Right hand, left hand. My shoulder blades are lifting off the ground. One at a time. Head stays lifted. Nice job. Let's do about 5 more. That's 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1. 1. Pull your knees into your chest and lay back. Give yourself a break. Nice job. Breathe deep. Ground through the back. Feel your back pressing into the floor. One more deep breath. Great job. Releasing your hands, releasing your legs. The feet come down to the ground. All right, we're working the obliques this time. That's on the side of our core. So, same thing. We're going to pull our chin up towards our chest. Try to look at your thighs, look at your knees. Hands are reaching down towards the ankles on either side. And we're going to just reach towards our pinkies. I'm reaching to the right, to the left, to the right. Keep your head up. Here we go. There we go. Keep it up. Nice. The first time you do this, you might be like, I hate this lady. But tomorrow and the next day, you'll be like, hey, I can do it even better because I kept going. Let's do 3 more. 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. Lay back. Give yourself a break here. Starting to get warm. If you need, you can pull your knees to your chest. That's always a really great way to just relax the abdomen, because that's what we've been working here. Let's rock those knees a little bit from side to side. We're going to do one more round of each of those so that you can thank me tomorrow. So you choose feet on the ground, knees bent, or legs straight. If you choose legs straight, the rope is going to be hanging down from between your big toes. All right, so let's start here. Let's start to reach up for that rope. Pull your shoulder blades up, and let's climb that rope. Right and left, right, left, right, left. That's 3. I'm at 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9. We got one more. Oh, it's starting to burn. Pull your knees to your chest. Rock from side to side. Just 10 more repetitions here of those little pinky toe touches. Just bring those feet down to the floor, knees bent. Walk your heels back as close as they'll come. So some people are not going to get those feet so close, and that's okay. We're reaching for the heels, reaching for the ankles or the pinkies. Lift the head up, look at your thighs. Start to reach for your right pinky toe, left pinky toe. Keep those shoulder blades lifted. You're doing really good. Yes. I'm at 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7. We're doing it. The last one. Oh, it's burning. And let's lay back. Let's do starfish. So expand your legs out to the sides. Expand your arms out to the side. Head reaching tall. Ground the whole back side of your body. Feel your knuckles grounding. Feel your elbows grounding. Feel your shoulder blades resting. Back of the head resting. Sacrum. calf muscles, heels or ankles. Take a big breath, fill your belly, and with that exhale, feel your whole body resting on the floor. Great job. Pull the knees towards the chest, nice and slow, walking your feet up. Give yourself that hug one more time. I like to cross my ankles when I'm here, and instead of rocking horizontally from right to left, I'm going to try to rock vertically towards my head, towards my tailbone. I reach behind my knees, extend my legs to go up, and then slowly I'll roll up to seated. All right. Good job, everyone. I know, mixing it up, it's hard work, but it's almost summertime. Oh, it's almost springtime, is what it is. So we got to get ready for all these upcoming seasons. And while it might be kapha season, which means grounding, earth, and water, we're moving towards fire. So let's shift into hands and knees. I always have a blanket for underneath my knees because I have knobby knees from old knee injuries, so I just like to make sure that they don't get bruised up or sore. And then our hands will come onto the mat here. You get to choose how your hands are arranged. Now we just worked all this core here, so let's stretch it out by dropping belly button through. Press through the mat here and look forward. That's called cow pose. Lift that tailbone. We're going to root through our hands and root through the knees as we push up into the air with our spine. Now let's go back and forth. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Couple more rounds here. Remember, you always have my permission to rest in child's pose, rest on your back in Shavasana at any time. Right. So today we're going to add the bind in this posture. So that means a bind usually means you're grabbing something behind your back. So I'm going to have you walk your hands forward a little bit. Let's do the left side first. So take your left hand out towards the side wall, maybe up towards the sky, and we're going to thread the needle underneath your right arm. You want to drop onto your left shoulder, onto your left side of your face. It's okay if you do the right side. We'll do both sides. And then my right arm is going to slide up over my head on the mat so that I'm twisted. Yeah, so that's the beginning. If you would like, you can always take it a bit further by taking that right arm up to the ceiling. But that's core strength to reach up. It's a lot harder. And then we can bind that hand to the low back by rotating the arm internally and sliding the hand onto the low back. Now that's a big twist there, so that's all happening with the right arm. Careful with that left elbow. Nice job. You can stay as long as you want, but when you want to, that's listening to your body. That is not stealing your practice. That's practicing asteya. So come on back to center by pushing into your right hand and coming back to tabletop. Now I kind of feel like I'm in this weird twisty position now with my ribs, so we better even that out by taking the right arm out. Thread the needle underneath the left so that you land on your right shoulder and on the right side of your face. Here in studio, you should be rotated towards the mirror. And then we'll start to maybe reach that left hand up or bind it to the back. I prefer to stay nice and lazy on the ground with my left hand just outstretched towards the top of my mat. Try to make sure that both of your hips are level by making sure that your knees are both grounded here. The tendency is to want to lift that left knee, but we need to keep it grounded. When you are ready, come on out of that pose by sliding the left hand back, doing a kind of half push-up to to push yourself back up to center. And if you'd like, you can do some cats and cows, do some dog wags with your hips, and just kind of work all that stuff out. Staying rooted, staying lifted, not collapsing. Nice job, everyone. All right, so from here, let's start to tuck those toes under, and we'll start to push up through the hands. We're not going to stay here long. We're going to start to walk forward towards our hands, maybe walking your hands back towards your feet. You can do a combination of both if you need to, so that you can find your way to this just forward fold. Knees are bent, feet are separated here. As you become more advanced, the legs become straighter and the feet come closer together. So just keep that in mind. It's about progress, not perfection. Now let's start to reset our spine here. Place your hands on your shins, lengthen your elbows, engage the belly. So many teachers say suck it in, and I even say that, I know. But it's not so much that sucking it in where you hold your breath. It's an activation of pulling the core inward. As it gets stronger, you'll understand. One more breath. Exhale, let everything go. Bend through those knees. Let your arms just hang. Let your head just hang. If your eyes are open, you should be gazing behind you through those separated legs, bent knees. And let's sweep the arms out like a bird, push through those feet, and we'll start to rise up here. Energizing as we rise up, lifting, grounded through the feet. Hands come to the heart center. I like to make sure my feet are nice and grounded on the floor here. And we're going to start to kind of rock from the heel to the toe. Heel to toe. So as I'm on my toe, my heel lifts slightly. As I rock back to my heel, my toes lift slightly. I'm just finding all 10 toes, finding all the edges of the heel. Now let's do some kind of circular motion. So I'm going to roll my toes in, and then I'm going to roll up to my toes, and then I'm going to roll out to the outer edge, back, and so you can kind of roll big circles on those feet. It's hard to isolate. We have like 27 bones in our feet, so it's hard to articulate all those tiny little bones. Go inward too. Nice job. So let's just start to come to that grounded position, big toe mound. So it's not necessarily the big toe, it's this knuckle, the knuckle that's up in the foot. We want to push that into the floor, but we also want to do that with this pinky toe mound. So we call those the mounds of the knuckles. We also want the inner heel and outer heel so that you're not sickling, not pronating. All right, so nice and rooted. Awesome. So we don't want to lock our knees like I tend to do. We want to have soft knees. We want knees stacked over ankles, hips stacked over knees, shoulders over hips, and ears over shoulders. So that's the thing that's hard, is we tend to do this type of thing. And so let's pull our head back. It's that cosmic headrest that Amanda and I talk about. It's like that headrest in your car that you don't use. Pull that head back into it. Let's take a big inhale. Grounded through the feet as you exhale, known as mountain position. Hands come to the sides of the body. Keep those feet grounded. Inhale and start to sweep up to the sky, reaching, lifting from the ground, but staying rooted. Exhale and forward fold. I bend through my knees as I forward fold. That protects my back, and I start to reach for the floor. Now I have really long arms, and if you're not quite at the floor, then you can use a block. And blocks are cool because they have a low, a medium, and a high setting, so you can use whatever you need. Now let's just stretch out these legs while we're here, an old trick of the trade. So with an inhale, we'll straighten one leg. I did my right leg first. And then I'm going to exhale and bend both of my knees and kind of squat in a way. And then I'm going to inhale and straighten my left leg. And then exhale and bend both knees, squatting back to center. Inhale, the right leg lengthens. Exhale, bend both knees. And try it on the left leg. Nice. Is there one leg that's tighter than the other? Let's do it one more time on each side. Just noticing the difference between the sides, between the left and the right. Now let's just hang for just a moment here. So bend both knees, let your arms go, and try to let your neck go. Try to let your head go. Maybe shaking the head, yes. Very slow, very gentle. And maybe no, while you're here in this inversion, slightly upside down. Maybe so. Big circles in both directions here just to see if you're holding some tension in that neck. I know many of us do. And then slowly just coming back to hanging. We're going to lift our spine halfway and reset. So the hands will climb up to the shins, the knees. We'll press on that area to lengthen the spine out. As you do that, activate the core. It's not sucking it in because I can still breathe, I can still talk. It's this just pulling the core inward. Activation. We'll start to lower back down, bending through those knees, getting the fingertips on the floor. Choose a leg and step that foot back first. And then try to step back to the other foot so that you're in downward facing dog. Lift those hips up, look back at your toes, and maybe try pressing the right heel down to the floor, bending that left knee, and then press your left heel down and bend the right knee. Let's go back and forth a couple times. Call that walking the dog, pedaling it out. My left calf is really tight, but my right one feels fine. My hands are getting tired, so let's start to roll forward into plank. Some people will stay lifted, some need to drop to the knees to modify, and there's nothing wrong with that. Start to lower down, thighs, belly, and chest. Now this part is all up to you. You can just stay right here if you want to. Some people are going to lift slightly into a Sphinx pose. Some will lift into Cobra. I'm not warmed up enough to do an upward dog, but that would be with lengthened elbows. And we'll start to lower back through Cobra, through Sphinx, all the way to the belly. Tuck those toes, and we'll start to lift back up, downward dog. We're moving slow here at first, but we're going to speed it up as we go along. So, here, I walk my toes forward about 2 inches, and then start to pedal it out. Now, if your arms are sore, my friends, then start to walk forward. Okay, walk your hands towards your feet, walk your feet towards your hands. Let's do it. We'll start stepping one foot forward first, then the other, then the other. Maybe walk your hands back to a forward fold. Very good. Take some time. It's not always pretty, okay? Not at first. With an inhale, let's reset the spine. So climb those hands up to the shins. Try to have a straight spine where it feels like someone's pulling on your head, someone else is pulling back on your hips, lengthening the spine. One more breath. Exhale, we're lowering down to ground. Separate your feet wider if you need more space. Bend your knees deeper if you need more space. One more big breath here. Exhaling apana, that means grounding energy. Sweep the arms out like a bird. Take a big inhale, energize your body, press through your feet, and roll all the way up. Hands will reach to the sky, and we'll exhale, hands to the heart. I always walk my feet together a little bit just to get them nice and square underneath my hips, adjust the clothes, get my hair out of my mouth, anything like that here. So that's called a sun salutation, but we did it like we were moving through molasses. And so that's good, because then every movement is on purpose. I think we were talking about this last week where we go to a vinyasa yoga class and we're moving so quickly just to keep up with the class that sometimes we're not moving in a safe way, in a safe manner, to where we're protecting our body and making sure we're in the right alignment. So that's why we start slow, and we'll slowly get a little quicker here. So let's do another one of those, and we'll try to do it one breath, one movement, but take really long breaths. So instead of going, because that'd be a quick movement, that'd be like, So let's breathe slow. So right here at the heart, we'll ground through the feet. Inhale. The head and heart lift. We exhale. We're grounding. Let's try again. Inhale right here, heart center. Exhale, the hands are going to come down to the sides. That's called Tadasana. Inhale, notice the lifting up away from the ground, the prana. Exhale, apana, coming closer to the ground, to the floor. Let's inhale, lift halfway. We're coming up away from the ground, that's prana. We're exhaling towards the floor, apana. Pick the opposite leg. If you remember what you stepped back with last time, step it back. Step the other foot back to downward facing dog. Look at your toes in downward facing dog. With an inhale, roll your weight forward and look between your hands. You're now in plank position. You can drop to the knees. We'll exhale to lower through. An inhale to lift away from the floor. And an exhale to lower back towards the floor. Notice the pattern here. Tuck those toes. Inhale, lift away from the floor, maybe even downward dog. We exhale and ground the feet, ground the hands. Inhale, lift through your tailbone here. Exhale, ground through the feet, ground through your hands. Look towards your hands. Inhale and step forward towards them. Maybe it takes more than one breath, and that's okay. Take your time, we'll meet here, and with an inhale, we'll lift halfway away from the floor. That's known as prana, and we'll exhale towards the floor for apana. Stay here, grounded, 2 more breaths. Separate the feet if need be, bend the knees if need be. This is part of honoring and respecting the needs of your body. Sweep the arms out like a bird. Push through the feet. Rolling up, nice and slow. Reach to the sky. Exhale, feel yourself grounding into your feet, into the floor. Pretty cool. All right. Let's see, let's do 3 of them today. 3 sun salutations in a beginner class. Oh my. All right, so last time what I did is, well, the first time I remember I stepped back with the right foot. So last time I did the left. So I'm going to go back to the right again and step back. So if you remember, if not, just choose a foot. Let's inhale right here. Remember, grounding through the feet, lifting through the head is balanced. Exhale, hands to the ground. They won't reach. Inhale, reach up to the sky. They're reaching into the sky, but they won't reach the ceiling. And then we'll exhale, forward fold, bend those knees to protect your back, apana. Inhale, lift halfway, pranic energy lifting you up. Exhale, apanic energy grounding you down. Inhale, step a foot back. Exhale, step the other foot back. Let's inhale to downward dog. Exhale, roll forward, plank. I inhale at the top, exhale, drop to my knees and through my body to the floor. Nice. Untuck the toes, but keep those feet grounded. It's an energetic connection. We'll inhale to rise up. I'm just doing a little baby cobra, and then we'll exhale, coming back down. Inhale, rise up. It might just be that you come here first, and then exhale, and then inhale all the way up. Downward facing dog. Exhale, ground through the hands and through the toes. Let's take one more breath right here. Look towards your hands. Inhale and step a foot forward. Then the other foot. Exhale, inhale, exhale. A couple more times. Couple more breaths. When you come to that forward fold, let's take that big inhale to lift ourselves away from the floor. Half forward fold. Exhale, back to that forward fold. Big breath here. Just hanging out. Soften those knees. Sweep the arms out to the side. Inhale, press through the floor. Bring yourself up. Pranic energy lifting you away from the floor. Exhaling to ground through the whole body, the feet. The energy is pulling down. Great job, everyone. All right. I know last week we did a tree pose. but I want to do that again because of grounding, you know. So today we'll combine it. I know some people are working on balance, so if that is a challenge for you and you need a wall close by or maybe a folding chair, move off to the side and grab yourself something if you need to, okay? You can come onto the wall, you can grab onto cabinets, things like that. I'm going to move my blanket just so I have all this room to show you what we're going to do. So we're going to start in tree, okay, but then I'm going to move to the side here. So tree, and then we rotate the knee forward eventually, and then we're going to try to come into a warrior three. This is a beginner warrior three. This is an advanced warrior three. See how my heel stays in line with my head? A lot of times I'll see this. so think of an airplane. So we're going to go from tree to airplane. All right, so I like to find a spot, like my spot is going to be this little drishti on the floor right here. I'm just going to stare at that point, that little spot on the floor. We don't want it to be a person, but it could be even like, you know, a spot like that on the side of the wall. So let's ground through our right foot. Most of us tend to be right-sided. Even if we're left-sided, we're going to balance out the hemispheres here. So bend the left knee, roll up to the toe, turn the knee out, and pull that foot up towards a tree position. Mine is just right up around my calf. Hands might come to the heart. I'm staring at my spot on the floor. Remember, you can always grab onto something off to the side if need be. So, from here, rotate left knee forward and start to lengthen the foot out back. Your toe can touch the floor if you're finding that you're a little unbalanced. Start to lift the toe, activate the glute, the hamstring. Nice. It's all right, don't worry, no shame, no judgment here. We're going to come down whenever you're ready and march it out. March those legs out. Try the other side. We'll get balanced here. So I'll turn this direction now. So I'm going to bend my right knee. My left foot is rooted, grounded. My right knee is going to turn out so that I can wrap my foot around my ankle or around my calf. Find that drishti. That means a focal point. Nice. Start to rotate that right knee forward. Even if your toe is on the floor, that is okay. You can slide the right toes back on the mat. Start to challenge yourself by just lifting your toes. It might just be an inch. You might start to teeter over at the hips into that full warrior three. These are just poses we need to practice. Come on down when you're ready and march it out. You did it. Good job. Now let's get down on the ground and relax. Jeez, yes, please, Shavasana. I often call it thank God asana. Oh, so if you have a blanket handy, you can roll that up and put it under your knees, or use it as a blanket or a pillow. You can use it as a blanket, like what it's meant for. And let's lay on the floor a little bit here. We've got a couple of minutes to just allow our body to rest after all that work. We've done a lot of work today. Choose the way that you'd like to rest, the best way to honor your body. I know for a lot of people it's hard to just kind of lay on the floor and rest. So if that's the case, maybe you start by just rocking your knees like window wipers from right to left to start to calm the nervous system. To start to lay back and ground yourself right here, right now, on this yoga mat. In the studio, in your house. Ground yourself. Feel the head resting on the floor. Feel the knuckles resting on the floor. Feel the heels resting. Every breath in, feeling the belly rise, prana filling you up. Every breath out, feel your belly soften, ground, anchor. You are a guest. Leave this earth a little more beautiful, a little more human. Leave this earth a little more lovable, a little more fragrant for those unknown guests who will be following you. Think of this earth and all that it provides. The stability, the growth, the support. Stay as long as you need. Lay here on your mat and ground yourself. Rise slowly from your practice and do it slowly so that every movement that you make is on purpose. Every breath that you take has reason. Start by moving slow, hands and feet, knees, elbows, hips and shoulders. Rock the back of your head on the floor from side to side. And remember to honor your body in the path of rising. So if you'd like to stay a bit longer, please do. When you're ready, start to roll to a side and coil your arm around your head to support your head. Or perhaps just rolling right up, pressing up to a seat. The choice is yours. Coming back to that grounding of the sits bones, rootedness of perhaps the ankles, anything that's touching the body or touching the floor, any part of your body that is touching the floor. Just feel it rooting, grounding, and remember those roots that grow down beneath this building, the building that you're sitting in. Remember that you are made of all the elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space, heaven. I am made of dirt and grit and stars and river, skin, bone, leaf, whiskers and claws. I am part of you, of this, nothing more or less. I am mycelium, petal, pistil, and stamen. I am energy and I am dust. I am wave and I am wonder. I am impulse and I am order. I am. Bring your hands to your heart and know that you are grounded, part of this earth. I thank you for sharing this last hour with me, for honoring the body, for challenging your body. I bow to you, and in yoga we say the word namaste, which means just that. I bow to each of you. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Namaste. Great job, everyone. And shukriya, thank you for joining me.